Spare Parts. Relics of the Ancients. Written by M.G. Herron. Read for you by Keith McCarthy. Chapter 1. Ever since they became refugees, Elya Nevers collected bot parts. He didn't know exactly how the idea had first come to him. Even his memory of it as an idea was nebulous. Elya couldn't recall the concepts of collecting and bot parts ever pairing in his brain before they fled their cliffside solar farm in the night. He barely had time to throw a change of clothes and his tab into his rucksack before his mother dragged him and his two older brothers out the door and into the darkness. In their flight to the city, there had been no time for such thoughts. He didn't remember making a conscious decision to be a collector when the four of them shoved their way onto an orbital transport shuttle, fighting against the panicked crowds, nor when the shuttle blazed through the planet's atmosphere. It was hard to focus on much of anything when the seat was rattling so hard he thought his brains would shake out of his mouth and splash all over his only pair of boots. When they passed into space and the shuttle stabilized, Elya looked down and noticed that his left hand was bleeding where he gripped a gold-tinted gear in his palm. Its reflective surface, even smeared with blood, calmed him for some reason. As he studied its finely cut teeth, noting its purposeful shape, he realized that he must have picked up the gear along the way, although he couldn't for the life of him remember where or when. Its golden color was distinctive compared to the dull gray of the utility bots they sometimes rented as extra hands to help during harvest time on the farm. Elya didn't really have a use for the gear, since the Nevers had never been able to afford a bot of their own, especially not a gold-plated one. But I do have room in my rucksack, he thought, and decided to keep it. When the shuttle reached the limit of its range, the refugees were transferred to a mammoth long hauler. Elya had plenty of time to contemplate his new habit of collecting bot parts during their harried spaceflight, while his mother clutched her bead necklace and muttered prayers under her steaming breath. When she finally slept, he and his brothers listened to their frightened fellow refugees speculate how long it would take the Imperial fleet's starfighters to find them and guide them to safety. Answer: 23 days, Galactic Standard Time. While they waited, the slow-moving long hauler drifted on minimum viable power, life support only. They kept the passenger
Sample complete. Ready to continue?